All right, man, we back. Mercy Sports Talk in the building. Talk about a real quick Detroit Lions video. Marvin Jones Jr., as you may know, if you follow the NFL, 49ers receiver, a main receiver last year before Emmanuel Sanders got there, and even after. Deebo Samuels had foot injury. I think he had surgery. Going to be out for like 4 months. So they're looking for a wide receiver. Should the Lions consider trading Marvin Jones Jr. over there? Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And I still believe they should sign Antonio Brown. But I don't know what other receiver out there that's the caliber of Marvin Jones and Antonio Brown. Now, the only way I do this is if I'm bringing in Antonio Brown or another receiver like that. And I do think if you desperate, and your job is on the line and you truly want to win, you go sign Antonio Brown if you are the Detroit Lions. And the benefit of signing Antonio Brown, you could bring in Marvin Jones Jr., you can trade Marvin Jones Jr. to the 49ers, okay? He's on his last year of his deal. It's probably the Lions are not probably going to bring him back, all right? We know that. And, he is the perfect number 2. He had a great year last year, especially with Stafford. He ain't as fast as he used to, so the windows where he catch the ball is a lot tighter, but he's polished as a wide runner. And I was an advocate of bringing him here. When they signed him, a lot of people didn't know how good Marvin Jones was. Marvin Jones' drop rate was fantastic in Cincinnati, but what happened was he had a great year, then he injured himself the next year, then the following year he came back, and he became the third option behind A.J. Green, Tyler Alford, and they had another receiver. I think Mohamed Sanu was over there, so he fell out kind of the receiving rotation. But I knew the talent was there, and then the second year off of injury, he came in Detroit and became everything we wanted him to be and more. And a lot of people saying, we need a big receiver like Calvin Johnson, and he ain't big enough, he ain't fast enough. He's 6'2", and he ran a 4.4. And he had excellent hands, especially when he adjusted to Matthew Stafford, a fastball. So bigger receivers don't last long. They get beat up. It's a lot of body to hit, and that's why smaller receivers last. But the only reason I trade Marvin Jones Jr. to the 49ers, and I'm not trading him for nothing less than a 4th-round pick, is if I'm bringing in a new receiver that's the caliber or close to the caliber of Antonio Brown. So if I ain't bringing in a receiver like that, I'm not trading, because if I trade Marvin Jones Jr., Marvin Hall not ready to step up and play that spot. Amendola more of a slot. Galladay, he holding what he do hold down. Fogg or Lacey or whoever else they got, they not ready to step up. Even if you tell me if I can predict in the crystal ball, I'm going to get a huge season out of T.J. Hockenson and Jesse James running a lot of 2 tight end sets, playing with Lacey. He played too much. Playing with 2 tight end sets. I still want to have Marvin Jones Jr. The depth at receiver at the outside positions ain't that good for the Lions. Amendola's an inside slot guy. Galladay outside guy. But after that, you're looking at Agnew, Hall, Lacey, Fogham. You really trust one of those dudes to come in and make an impact on the outside? No. So if I'm not bringing in another big-time receiver like Antonio Brown, I don't trade Marvin Hall Jr. to the 49ers. Straight up and down, it just makes no sense to trade away him. And I understand, if you're not gonna bring him back, don't you want to get something for him? Well, hey, if he have a good year this year, maybe you could bring him back on a team-friendly deal or a good deal for another year or two. But with him leaving, Marvin Jones Jr., if he leaves this season, and they won't franchise tag him, by the way, and Golden Tate gone, it's kind of an end of an era as well, too. So, in my opinion, I don't move Marvin Hall to the 49ers unless I know I got Antonio Brown coming in, or a guy that's the close to the caliber of Antonio Brown or Marvin Jones Jr. So at the end of the day, 49ers got to find help somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they need to go look at Antonio Brown. And if they did take a chance on him, there'd be a problem. But I expect them to take a step back this year, because most Super Bowl runner-ups do take a step back. But I wouldn't trade Marvin to the 49ers without having a guy ready to come in and do the job that's good as him. But if they do bring in Antonio Brown, I don't have no problem shipping him over there. But don't be, they got paid Galladay too now. So they just don't have the horses to trade Marvin Jones Jr. Behind them right now, unless you're going to bring somebody else in. Lacey, Agnew, Hall, none of them dudes ready to step out there and play that number 2 position at all, But that's my opinion. Mason want to play and bite. He want to play and bite. But hey, man, appreciate everybody for checking in. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to us on all the social media platforms. You want to DM me if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Twitter, then Facebook is the fastest ways. Want to make a donation to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, inscription. Don't forget, check my other channel out, Goodfellas Sports TV, for more sports, music, news, and entertainment talk. One time for the one time, Mercy Sports Talk. Mason say bye. We gone.